Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to more MDL Dota 2 action. We have got ourselves a draft here as we get into our fourth best of two of the day. I'm taking over from Lyrical. Going to be joined by Lacoste in just a second. Let me see if I can get in the Discord. All right, oh, he said he wanted to do a test call before a live, but we're going to do this live. Hopefully it works okay. We have TNC versus
Yep.
Vici Gaming next. Oh, sup, Lacoste, man. You said test before live, but I, you know, we're doing this live,
Yeah,
apparently.
we're testing live, and it's working. Well,
That's
Discord was causing some problems, and seems like we're fine.
that's good to hear, man. Good to hear. How you been? How's your day been? You've been casting for a while. I'm just stepping in fresh. What's been going on?
Yeah, we had some pretty one-sided games so far. All three of our series. Even though I woke up at 2 a.m., couldn't catch too much sleep, but I'm pretty hyped. This series should be not as one-sided as the other ones.
Yeah, I definitely feel like this is going to be a good one. Very important for both teams, who are looking like they could be top contenders. TNC, Vici Gaming both getting a win so far. And this is like a cool, important event because Liquid and VP aren't playing at MDL, so it feels like this is the major that any team could win.
Yeah, that's true. I discussed it a little bit with Lyrical. No VP, no Liquid, since they're already qualified for the international, so they don't have to be here. They can prepare their own strats, and which means the competition is not going to be as great.
Yeah. So we'll see what the drafts have in store. Any big trends you've seen so far with the picks? Any emerging heroes you feel just from the games you've seen?
It feels like it's pretty standard for now to go 2-1-2 in the laning stage, which I expected after the recent changes to the bounty runes. And I feel like Axe is gonna be the new popular hero. Same goes for Skyrat Mage. I don't know how many pubs did you play? Did you try to test out all the things? Like Skyrat Mage as position 4 seems like one of the better heroes just to destroy the enemy safe lane. If you pair it up with Axe, Battle Hunger, and just spam Q from
Yep.
Sky, pretty impossible to stand. They just destroyed the tri lane with two heroes.
Yeah, I haven't.
Also, IO, sorry.
Oh,
Also,
no, it's okay.
IO fits that profile as well. Pretty flexible. Can go to any lane.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of teams, like their first two picks is often their 3 and their 4 position, like the combo they want to try and dominate the offlane
Yes.
with. Like you'll see some of the NA teams doing like Beastmaster with Coddle. We saw Axe Skyrath from like Liquid and stuff at Epicenter. Naga +1, Nightstalker Leshrac, like that's an offlane duo that
This.
we've seen.
Yes.
So
So
very strong
I'm not a
offlaners.
I'm not a big fan of these classic position 4 heroes that were played before. OG just played the Clockwork, and they made it work, but you really don't feel the influence of that hero anymore, because he's just taking the experience from the lane. All right, you're going to get a kill or two, but you would get that before. You want to have these heroes that pressure the lane, that pressure, take away the farm from enemy. Safe laner.
Yep. Well, we'll see if these two heroes have it. What are the kind of carries you feel like can be played? Because it's like this meta where everyone is pressuring the safe lane, like these dual lanes.
Yes.
What carries do you think fit? Like the heroes I feel like I've seen some success with is like Luna, PL, even some Slark. Like are there other heroes
Yeah.
that you think stand out?
Slark, definitely. He's been so popular because all these controlling heroes that were played as position 4 are kind of out. So it's the rise of the Slark, and he received a lot of buffs as well. So
I mean, having all the health regen against lanes that are just going to keep
yes.
constantly harass you. He's like the new Terrorblade in terms of his base regen.
So basically, the heroes that are good for the safe lane right now are those that can go to jungle and recover.
Yep. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's definitely Slark, and we'll see what else. Lycan, another good example here with lots of good regen, who can also go into the jungle. We'll see what the two teams look to pull out here. Vici Gaming, Nightstalker Leshrac, whereas TNC get the Lycan in the first two, and they ban the Kunkka. Nothing
Yeah.
too crazy yet.
Also, I've seen a lot of Kunkka mid. It's been so popular.
Oh yeah.
I suppose the reason is because Lina is also popular and it's a really good matchup. I've seen this matchup goes both ways. Not sure how to feel about it. I don't play mid that much, but depends on the rotations. But Kanka can deny a lot of CS from Lina.
Yeah, all the Kunkas I've seen will go up against these ranged heroes, these like harasses, these heroes you think of being good mid laners, and just deny everything, use the Tidebringer to just secure all the last hits, and also harass while you're last hitting. So it seems like there aren't many bad matchups for Kunka.
Yeah, he's like poor man's Tiny.
Yep. Well, I mean, perhaps with Tiny being nerfed to the ground, he is the new Tiny in a sense. As we'll see.
We're gonna call him Biggie.
There we go. So,
So Lycan, I've seen 1 or 2 Lycan games today already. Feels like he's really popular because he can pressure the towers. Like also can go to jungle that we mentioned. Also, one thing that I noticed in this patch, all the position 4/5 heroes get pretty much level 6 before 10-minute mark. So, but Tome is not that contested anymore because they're not roaming around. They're just pretty static in the lanes, getting kills, and there's so much more kills happening because simultaneously there's an action in 2 versus 2 lanes. So we're gonna need a one more camera guy.
yeah, seriously, we need all the observers we can get for these events. But I definitely noticed it too. Like as a support player, it just feels like, oh, 9 minutes in, it's like, oh, I'm about to hit level 6. This is great. Like forget the tome, carry. You want this tome? I don't need it. And suddenly the fighting just keeps on happening because also you have supports who are level 6. Suddenly they're ready to like align with Finger of Death. Is suddenly looking to find a kill or something. Dazzle picks up. Ooh.
Yeah, I wanted to mention a Wind Ranger as a good position 4/5 hero. Like this hero can harass the shit out of you. If she gets Orb of Venom and you try to trade last hits, let's say with a hero that does not have any kind of nuke, you just trade the last hits, she uses Wind Run, and then you lose 1/3 of your HP and you did 0 damage.
Yeah, in the offlane, that hero seems ridiculous, but it looks like they may plan on running Leshrac and Night Stalker as their offlane duo, so focus more on the magic harass coming out from the Leshrac. A hero I felt like we saw promising in Thailand was actually Winter Wyvern. It was picked up against the Lycan and worked really well. I thought maybe some teams would try and adopt that pick as like a way of dealing with the Lycan, but so far it has not seemed to be any more teams outside of Keen Gaming who picked it there.
Infamous tried to play it today against the Lycan, but it was not very effective because they had such a speedy lineup and he couldn't use any ultis. He was just... Lycan was controlling the team fights. Maybe a Phantom Lancer would not be a bad idea. Like, really good against the Lycan, against the Skywrath Mage, and they have a heal bomb with the Dazzle.
That sounds like a decent pick to me. You're not, I guess, too worried about the pressure lane, because I'm wondering how they run this Naga now. You've got Naga and Skywrath, both heroes we've seen played in that 4-position role. Perhaps with the 2 picked up together, it's going to be more likely a Skywrath 5. And there's the PL. Good call.
Well, it could be Skywrath mid as well. Or they can just dual lane. They can put Naga Siren on the off lane and just secure Naga's farm. Also, a lot of kill potential on that lane if they want to do it.
Sure.
We'll see with their next pick. Okay, so this is the... I played the exact same matchup. I mentioned it before. Skywrath plus Axe, it's just super strong. Also, Axe, one of the better heroes against the Phantom Lancer.
This sounds
there was a
brutal.
problem with the Axe because he couldn't get the farm in the laning stage. He can recover, he can go to the jungle, but there's always a position 4 hero that can harass you. So right now, yeah, he gets the farm. That's it, and he gets his Vanguard pretty hard to kill. He gets the 8 strength on level 10 talent. Suddenly he has 2,000 HP.
Yeah, definitely a hero that seems to be rising in stock for the competitive Dota, and I'm excited. I like seeing the Axe. He's a hero that kind of became forgotten. I got replaced by these boring offlanes, Underlord, Tidehunter. Who wants to see these heroes sit there, mitigate damage? Axe is a hero that just wants to go in, take the damage, and dish it out. Way more fun to watch. And
I love your way of thinking, Parker. That's exactly what I want to see as well. Also, he is a counter to a Dazzle. We didn't even mention that because it's pretty much obvious to everyone. Calling Blade goes through the grave.
Fantastic stuff.
for you 1K plebs.
I mean, you know, a lot of people haven't seen the axe in a while. They may have forgotten. But that puts Naga can kind of be played in the safe lane as a support. Some teams do run this like 5-position Naga Siren. It's not bad by any means. You've got good tools.
At one point, we saw a lot of position 4 heroes transition into 5, like Clockwork, like Tusks, also Naga Sirens. They gave priority of farming to, let's say, if you had a Disruptor Naga, suddenly Disruptor is position 4. You want to give him that Aghanim Scepter because it does so much more than Naga Siren does with her Meteor Hammer or whatever.
Yeah, once that item got nerfed on the hero, it no longer felt like a must-buy item every game. Teams just started countering it. They blink out, they BKB, there's a big enough window that it was no longer this OP combo. And they also have not picked anything to combo with the sleep, really. None of their heroes actually synergize with the sleep, which I don't love about their draft, but it also, you know, suggests this Naga more likely than not going to be like a 5 position.
Yes, exactly. And Skyrat Mage does so much more with the items. Once he gets that Road of Atos, he is like a Dark Willow. He can solo pick off any single hero on the side of Vici.
Yeah. Well, Dragonite last pick. This puts them in a pretty fast-paced pushing draft, so we're going to see Lycan most likely in the safe lane with the DK mid, and their lineup is very tanky. 3 strength cores. This is where you say, where's the Timbersaur or something? Because you need some way to actually clear through these heroes.
Timber or OD.
Or Bat.
Or not. Or Bat. This was my third pick. Now, I was thinking maybe OD because the tanky cores he can save. Yeah. Just put down the axe with the Astral. But maybe the lineup would be way too slow. OD and Phantom Lancer, not sure. So it's going to be a Batrider, which means what? That Lashrak's going to be mid, Batrider, yes, off lane, paired up with Night Stalker probably, and just have Phantom Lancer and Dazzle on the safe lane.
Yeah. Perhaps TNC just knowing they're not really a Timbersaw playing team, because it felt like this would have been a great Timbersaw game. But Batrider also very good. They've got a lot of magic damage here, which is something where, you know, pre-BKB, Lycan's a hero that's going to rush a Necro 3. Axe doesn't really go BKB that early. Armello on the Dragonite could get the BKB pretty fast, but the magic damage from Batrider and Leshrac can be very tough to deal with for these heroes.
Yeah, I mean, if they feel that they can close this game early on, maybe a Hood on a Dragonite early on can be fine, and he can upgrade it just to close the game if necessary.
Yep. Well, we'll see what's going to be happening here. Do you think, like, either team's draft you favor here? Or is it pretty even? I mean, they're very different drafts in a sense.
Yes, I prefer TNC's lineup, I gotta say. Like, if they don't lose their lanes, if Axe gets the good timing on a Blink Dagger, and he should, I think their way of controlling the team fights. You have this 3 tanky frontliners, which are hard to really control. I don't think they have enough, and they have a good counter to a Dazzle, which makes him kind of not that good of a hero. Yes, he has ulti to just boost the armor to his team against the Lycan and the Dragonite, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I feel similar. I think TNC have the much easier to play draft, for sure.
Exactly.
Like, you win one fight, you get Roshan, you take towers. And then with that Roshan, you can very easily push high ground. I think for Vici Gaming, they have to play their draft a lot more perfectly in order to kind of win this game. I mean, they're just a squishier draft, you know. Leshrac, Batrider, these heroes, they get caught out, they'll just die very, very fast.
Exactly. Most of these lineups that you have in your pubs when someone picks a Caudal, AA, whatever, and then you have a draft that once you go on them, they have nothing to fight with you. It's just running lineup. We're running away from the fight.
Yeah. And if TNC get off to a good start, all their cores can itemize for like all this burst damage, magic damage coming out. You mentioned the hoods. Very likely we see Axe even get a hood this game against the magic damage. It could be pretty tough for Vici Gaming to kill TNC if they get ahead.
I'm not a big fan of hood on Axe because Vanguard is such a good item on him, and he can upgrade it to a Crimson Guard a bit later just to mitigate the damage coming out from PL illusions. And look at his region. Like, he's better than Nyx Assassin at this point. 6 tangos, 3 mangoes, 7.1 per second.
He is good to go. They're going to wrap around and find the Dazzle here at bottom lane, it looks like. Can they get a kill here? Perhaps with these slows, they're throwing the Arcane Bolts, the Battle Hunger as well. Fenrir It's just going to run away as Cuckoo secures the bounty runes. So
You need to have a lot of regen in this lane against the Sky and the Axe, because they're gonna keep harassing you with the Battle Hunger and the Arcane Bolts.
Yeah. I mean, that's Dazzle, I guess. He's got, you know, Shadow Wave level 1. It's only not in the mana cost. He can spam it like 5 times, 6 times really before he's out of mana. So at least they've got some decent sustain here. I say that. Fenrir is already getting nuked behind his tower. Oh my god. Watching these heroes just do this with creeps not drawing aggro is still so weird to see.
Yeah, what do you think about it? Like, I don't think they should do something about this, because it feels so stupid. They had to fix it for the creep wave pool, but this feels even way worse. Like, sometimes you can't even show on the lane because there are 2 heroes standing between tier 1 and tier 2 tower not letting you pass.
It seems like if you're a carry and you're going to be alone, you have to run to your tier 1 tower right away and just hide under the trees because you can't block your wave.
And top lane, Batrider might go down.
He is very low. Riptide not for another 6 seconds here. If Tim's wanted to chase, he could have gone for it, but Lanham has a slow and 11 has a salve, so he'll heal back up. Bottom lane, man, Fenrir, he's getting bullied too. Cuckoo's... I don't know about this one, Cuckoo.
Stuck.
Yeah, he went in too deep. He's going to get the first blood, though, so will he pay for this with his life? He's got a TP out. He should be fine here if he TPs in trees. He's going to go all the way in a corner here, waits a long time. He's not actually TPing out. He just wants to die. He'd rather die than TP home. I think that's the right call.
Exactly. He spent all the money. He bought the second Null Talisman and had 50 extra gold to buy the Clarity. That's it. Like, he's more than fine. Got the first blood.
And now he's instantly back in lane. It sounds weird. Like, he could have legitimately TP'd out there and lived, but then he would have had to walk back to lane and been missing for like 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah. Plus, he has to be in the fountain, regen up for 6-7 seconds as well.
This way he feeds a little bit of gold, but he's also now going to get to deny that gold by being in lane pressuring. So smart play coming out from him. He gets his second Null Talisman. He is going to be very tough to deal with down bottom. Finds a haste rune, so we could look to see a gank on this mid lane. Does Cuckoo go for it? Looks like that's the call. Korea is also headed back to base. Does he go for that instead? Don't think he wants to. He wants the kill. Ori getting gone on here, throws out a split earth, hits the Dragon Knight here. Now he's in some trouble as Cuckoo should be able to get this kill with a couple more right clicks. He gets it, Cuckoo. Kill at bottom, kill at mid. Very active early on.
What a hero. I'm just gonna call it right now. Skywrath Mage feels like the best position for hero at this point.
It's crazy with TNC because they actually kind of swapped their roles. Tim's usually is the 4th position while Cuckoo plays 5, but it seems like with the patch changes they prefer to put Cuckoo on these like farming 4s now. And Tim's is playing the same heroes, just playing them as a 5. Top lane, Raven getting dived under the tower with the napalm stacks. He's going to go down. Lan M is going to die to the tower though. So a 1-for-1 trade up top.
This benefits the Batrider. He's getting the last hits, and it's gonna be a nighttime soon. Sadly, Night Stalker died, but Night Stalker is also farmed. He has Boots of Speed, he has Stout Shield, and 40 seconds until the night.
We'll see what you can do with this first nighttime. He's only level 2, but with a Leshrac mid, very likely could try and find a kill on Armel's Dragon Knight if they're not careful. He's not headed back top for the time being.
Yeah, this top lane is not working really well for TNC. They can't really kill this Batrider unless they overextend pretty hard until Lycan gets to level 6.
We're seeing why this Bat was such a good pick, because you're laning against 2 melee heroes as a Bat Rider and 2 melee heroes who don't really have a good stun. They have just the Ensnare, and it's so easy to run over them with napalm stacks. Here we go, bottom lane. Night Stalker's rotating in. Will they go for this? They actually scan him out. They know he's there. He's coming in, and Cuckoo, very far back, should be okay here. Paparazzi is not going to be able to offer the follow-up damage, and Lan M is foiled in his gank attempt.
Yeah, X is just too tanky. He out-regions them.
He hasn't even had to use a mango yet.
Yeah, they usually go for maxing concussive shot because it scales so much better, lowers the cooldown, percentage slow, and the damage instead of just going for Arcane Bolt.
Well, we'll see rotation up top as they try and get this Lycan, but he's very close to his tower here, even with the napalm stacks. We'll see if 11 wants to go for this. Looks like with the Skywrath TP up here. Oh, it's enough damage to actually bring him down. TNC. Find the kill. Well played.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the right play. Even if no one TP'd, he would still die if he got the return kill.
Yeah. Well, that's a big kill to be picked up there. Split between all three heroes. Lycan's having a rough time, but plays like that will help him recover a little bit, that's for sure. So
He can always go to jungle if he doesn't feel safe in the lane. They need to plant some vision around top because they don't see anything, and Night Stalker already rotated.
yeah, curious to see if they looked for a dive here again. They've had some decent success already, but Tims will go running through. He may actually pay for this with his life. Has the mirror illusions, but looks like he's just going to go down to the fire as he tries to run away. With Lanem being there, that was the surprise. Mid lane, meanwhile, Ori gets the solo kill on Armel. The tower hits. Is it going to be enough? It's close. It's 14 health on Ori as he barely escapes. That one charge saved his life. He had one charge that he used.
If he didn't use Breathe Fire, well then he wouldn't have enough damage then to kill him, but still.
That's true. That's one way of looking at it. So it looks like Lanham going to set up some aggressive wards, trying to scout this Lycan jungle out. And things will slow down a bit as Tims takes over the safe lane. Raven says, I just need to hit up the jungle. Does feel like TNC are kind of feeling the pressure in both mid and top lane, even though bottom lane is going very well for them.
Yeah, they're playing really aggressive on the bottom, almost behind the tower. I always wonder why Lycans, why don't they get just 1 point of Howl? Like that can change the fight for, let's say, this 1 versus 1 scenarios, the bottom 2 as well. Just to have the extra damage and the HP, especially if you play against the Night Stalker or with the Night Stalker.
Mid lane, that would have perhaps saved the DK and got him the kill on the Leshrac. It's something I know EG would do really well, where Arteezy would play Lycan, and when Sumail was playing mid, he would always use the Howl to help out Sumail's lane, to get him kills or save his life.
I mean, there's no big difference between level 2 and level 3 Wolves.
Yes. I guess
So
you're just
top
trying to
lane.
max them out as fast as possible. But yeah, top lane 11 getting gone, and this last Arcane Bolt will be enough to finish him off. Doesn't even land as the creeps actually get the kill. Nicely played. Meanwhile, bottom lane with the Skywrath going top, Sam H is left alone here. Needs to get his TP in his inventory. Does do so, but the split earth... Oh, it's off the mark. Sam H will still die. Heal bomb coming in to help secure it, and Ori gets the last hit. Nice rotation from Vici Gaming.
Yeah, I love how the game is played right now. I didn't feel so good about Dota for quite some time. This patch is really awesome, even though my favorite role is position 4, and it got kind of sagged, but there's a lot more action happening.
Yeah, it is. Like, if you're playing a 4 or 5 position and you're not involved in fights, you're doing something wrong. It's no longer this, oh, I'm going to babysit my carry. Even though they keep buffing stacks, you know, these stacks give you more and more gold. If you're stacking camps, you're also doing something wrong, it feels like. You need to be exactly where these fights are happening. Top lane.
Maybe the reason why they decided to buff the stacks is you can't pick the bounty runes, and at the same time you were picking them, instead of leaving the lane, you can just stack.
Yep. It's like they should be able to get the kill on Bat. He's going to turn this one around. He's got help coming his way. Tims not going to get the kill as Batrider gets graved at the last second. Tims gets back to safety in the trees. Neither player going to go down there. As Fenrir taking a lot of damage from Cuckoo with that concussive shot. 2 points now. We'll have to see if he maxes it. A lot of Skywrath started maxing this spell by level 7 just because it does do so much damage.
Yes, on level 7 you should have concussive shot level 4. Like, Ancient Seal is not that good early on, and it costs more mana. It doesn't reduce the cooldown, it's just the duration. I mean, and also if you look at increased magic damage, it's only 5 per second per level. Early on, it's not that much.
Yeah. I mean, the slope going up also helps you land your ultimate when you have that maxed out slow. So, I do like this new build that we see out of a lot of Skywraths. Right now, we do see Raven. He's got his Helm of the Dominator, so he's in a much better position as a Lycan. This is where it feels like you actually get to start playing the game. He can start pushing some towers. He can start ganking, you know. He can use his shapeshift. He's no longer just a jungle farming bot at this point.
So Phantom Lancer's also doing
Runes
okay.
coming up. It's the 10-minute runes. Both teams want them. It's going to go the way of Cuckoo on the Skywrath. He secures it. Looks like TNC will only get 2, though. Even with the rotation, they will not get the bounty rune on the other side of the river. So 2 runes apiece. I mean, even these 10-minute runes, you talk about how you have to fight more than you used to, and everyone's getting levels. The bounty runes also force you to fight a lot more, because these bounty runes are suddenly worth a lot more gold than they used to be, and they come so much more infrequently.
Yeah, if you take a fight before, let's say on a top rune, you outnumber them, get the 2 runes, and get the other 2 runes just by picking them up, that's so much value out of that.
Yeah. DK trying to get away from this Leshrac here. One more Lightning Storm could be enough, but here's the Lycan. He dodges the Split Earth with his hero, and he's going to go back in. Ori, though, has the protection, has a Grave if he needs it. TP out from Armel, it's going to be enough. So TNC cut their losses and trade 1 for 1 in the mid lane. It was a Night Stalker for a Sky. Top lane, Tim's, oof, stays alive and will look for this kill with a Riptide, I believe. No more Firefly to worry about. This should be enough damage to get the kill on Bat. Sam H gets the chop, and he's got Vanguard and almost a completed Blink Dagger just 11 minutes into this game.
Yeah, that's why Axe is one of my favorite heroes right now. You just need to rotate. If you get 1 dunk, 2 dunks, suddenly you're back into the game. With the Vanguard, you're so tanky, you're probably not gonna die in these fights anyway.
Smoke up from TNC in the mid lane. It looks like it was scouted. It's being pinged out. There was a ward on the other side of the river. So I believe they have a pretty good idea of what's going on. As I say that, though, the Radiant scan is on the top lane, so perhaps not quite sure what's going on. And Leshrac, uh-oh.
They scanned him out.
They pinged them there, but I guess they didn't quite realize they smoked. Seems they didn't quite know what was going on.
So yeah, we were correct. There is a Skywrath mage with the level 4 concussive shot.
Nice. I like to see it. Mid lane, no sleep to set anything up here, but Paparazzi does not have Doppelganger. He could be in some trouble here. A couple more nukes going out from him if they want to make a dive for it, but without the Blink Dagger and Axe, they haven't really got the initiation, so perhaps we'll just see TNC content to defend their tower. Teams seem to be much more keen to defend these towers now that you can deny them for full gold, but it doesn't look like Vici Gaming are going to let TNC do that with the mid lane.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. If you just, let's say, rotate with your position 5 hero and have enough damage to deny the tower, you should just do it. And if you die for it.
Yeah, you used to sometimes see that, but it would only be when you're not going to die for it. Now it's worth dying for. Top lane, Cuckoo has the ultimate, but had to be worried about this Dazzle. Seeing behind, Dazzle does not get the Grave off. Didn't have the range, it looks like, as they'll get the Axe in exchange. Blink Dagger was not purchased. I'm not sure if he had enough money. He might have just been a little bit too short.
He was short, 20 gold. I was wondering why he died so fast. Leshrac has Veil, so that's
wow.
That's a lot of magical damage.
I mean, they know this team does not deal well with magic damage, and we're going to see initiation. They blow him up before the Grave again. Lan M could not stay alive long enough for Fenrir to get close enough, and with Lycan running in too, Fenrir will get this Grave off, but it will just delay the inevitable. Spend your money, my friend. Spend your money. He'll spend what he can and goes down.
Self-grave always feels bad.
Yeah, that's when you know you're not really doing your job there. He was out of range, I think, for both of those kills,
yes.
But it's tough with this level 1 Grave to be in the right position. Can they get the tower tonight?
If you are playing Dazzle, sometimes I like to skip either ulti or poison touch if you have no kill potential in the lane. There's so much action happening, Parker.
I know, big fight going down. TNC lose 2. Raven will TP out just barely. They tried to fight. They slept, and I thought they were just going to back off. You know, the sleep was to counter-initiate the lasso, and they still decided to go in thinking they could win the fight. They were dead wrong, and they pay the price losing both Dragon Knight and Naga.
So much action happening, I can't even finish my sentence. And here we go, mid lane.
No lasso, yeah, he's not able to get this one. He's completely alone. Surely he can't get this one. Is someone going to help Raven? I would think so, yeah. 11's taking more damage than he's dishing, so we'll see him back off as there is a shrine available if they want to use it. It feels like they may want to consider rushing some magic immunity item, whether it's a BKB or a hood on the Dragon Knight. Ormel has a Shadow Blade queued up, but right now the Leshrac with Veil is just dealing too much damage for them to really fight into.
Yeah, they're gonna need something. I was expecting Dragon Knight maybe to get it. Since they already have Axe with the Blink Dagger, they might not need the second initiation. Also, Naga's gonna go down.
Yep.
11 and Ori teamed up. And there's an action happening at the bottom lane. They're trying to find a kill on a Dazzle. They have a good Vord.
Well, the Radiant team scouted them out coming into this lane. They had a lane ward, so I believe they know TNC are down here. And the Weave was used on them as well. So it looks like Vici Gaming are going to back off. Dazzle still nearby, hit by the concussive shot, and will scare TNC back. At this point, you have to assume, if you're Vici Gaming, that your jungle has been fully warded, and that is well and truly the case with 3 Observer Wards, plus Wolves scouting out Vici Gaming's moves. I don't think Vici Gaming are going to catch too much down here unless TNC decide they want to take a fight. With that said, both teams have a lot of vision down here.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to fight. It's a daytime right now, but Night Stalker has an ulti.
Yep.
Like Night Stalker and Lycan, they have improved night vision.
I like seeing the Lycan picked against the Night Stalker is a nice touch. That's something we used to see when Night Stalker was like a top pick. It was like these teams would always pick Lycan against it.
There was a successful scan, but they might catch him.
Oh, they got the call, and that's going to be enough damage with the Skywrath ultimate. Carry going down. The Night Stalker looking to trade on the Cuckoo, but he needs to be careful not to get caught here. Leshrac rotating in should be enough to finish off Cuckoo. And Ori, running out of mana, has a regen route to play around if he wants to. Blink Lasso onto the Dragon Knight, trying to pull him onto the cliff. He's going to get him stuck up there, and Armel is completely isolated. Can't do anything except burn. As he does hit a stun onto the Bat Rider, will breathe some fire as well, but it's an Ori-favored team fight, as Raven will barely escape. Lanham did not have mana for the nuke unless he had his wand up, but I think that only just came up.
He had Mango as well.
Oh, he did have Mango.
Yes.
I think the wand may have been on cooldown, which is what he was waiting for, but the Mango, nope.
Mango cannot be on a cooldown.
Yeah.
Look at this little triangle. Like all division. Like they want to play around this area.
Did not work for them though. They got the initial kill in the PL, but then they got completely surrounded and destroyed by Ori's Leshrac. He's 9k net worth already. He is so far ahead, and this Veil Yules build is just like very early game focused build that's just causing lots of problems.
So Naga is gonna go for a pipe. They might need a second pipe. I'm not even kidding. That could work. Or they just need the cores with the BKBs. Dazzle.
Yeah, they found him with the silence. Should be enough damage. Yep, LG just enough there as Tims goes charging as well. Has a sleep. Will pop it. Do TNC want to engage on this one? They don't have the Dragon Knight, and it looks like they're going to decide to back off here.
I love the interaction between Sleep and Leshrac Pulse Noah. He's actually losing mana. Even if you sleep him.
Yeah, so you can sleep him and just watch his mana pool just become depleted. Very aggravating for a Leshrac if you're trying to conserve mana in a fight. TNC now have the Shadow Blade, so this gives them another initiation to go alongside the Axe. Does still, I think, put them in a tough spot where they don't really have good sustain against the Leshrac, the Bat Rider. There's no pipe, there's no Crimson Guard. Naga has one queued up, but this Naga is not really getting that much farm so far.
Yeah, another smoke from Vici. Maybe the reason for a Shadow Blade is just to provide vision in the backlines where Dazzle is, blow him up, and they can reset the fight with Naga Siren out.
Oh, have they got detection for this? I don't think they do. And with a good call on the backlines, Axe goes in with the DK breaking out. They call through the grave. That's not going to work, Mr. Fenris. He's getting chased down by the Lycan now. I believe Raven should finish off the Dazzle. He's going to go back for Ori now. Great counter initiation as Sam H is going to call Paparazzi here, but he dies in the process. Phantom Lancer has been hit by the silence here. Shouldn't be able to get out of this one. No doppelganger for a few seconds, and they'll catch him with the insane full 5-man wipe. They only lose the Axe. Great play coming out from TNC. I don't believe Vici had any detection for that. They did not expect DK Shadowblade to be up, and they couldn't actually kill him during the lasso.
They placed one sentry ward, but it was not far. It was pretty far away from it. Also, Axe, man. The Axe feels like he's 5 times better than the Void, especially when paired up with the Skywrath Mage. Like, you have a lower cooldown, which goes through the BKB, and
Yeah.
you can't do anything about it.
It feels like a guaranteed kill. You blink Cole, you Skywrath ultimate. That hero's dead. You cannot grave them because Cole is going to go through that. So, this feels very tricky for Vici Gaming to play against this. Perhaps they will look to just burn Axe's mana pool with the Diffusal Blade. Nice. Soka going down the top. He got caught out by Armo's DK.
I wouldn't be surprised if Axe just goes for a straight BKB, because Leshrac has already his Yule Scepter, and he doesn't want to lose all his mana. Look at this! Parker, this is just constant action happening. We have 36 kills 20 minutes in.
They just, you know, instantly they die, they get team wiped, they respawn and they're like, let's charge. We have a ward there, we see these heroes farming, and it's really smart. They set up these deep wards so they can find these kills, they can force these fights. TNC fight at bottom, and they knew it was safe to go for those kills because of the fight at top.
Yeah, let me check who picked up the bounty runes. One TNC, 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 3 for TNC.
Well, they get the bounty runes, and we'll see where they look to go next. Tims gets closer to finishing off his pipe. That's definitely a sigh of relief for, I think, the TNC side. I like the idea you mentioned, Axis getting the fast BKB. That feels like an item that will help him just guarantee he can get these better initiations off.
Yeah, I mean, even if he gets the Blade Mail, which is pretty common item build, item progression for him, great against the Lash, but he can always Yule him up. Maybe he can get the Blink, or sorry, BKB into a Blade Mail. Still good.
Well, looks like TNC just want to farm. They're close to Dragon Knight's BKB, close to a pipe. How's Skywrath doing in terms of item? He's got the Veil picked up. I say they want to farm, but they also are grouping up for a smoke here. So no BKB, they say, let's just go anyways. Let's try get the jump. They're worried about Vici Gaming going for a Roshan as well, I think.
They just smoked, and they scanned him out, because they have a vision.
He misses the dust. They're going to go in the bat right here. They stack the Call in the Sun, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be a kill nonetheless. Making sure they had the damage. And they're going to charge forward, looking for more. They've got the Necrobook on Lycan here. Perhaps they could even consider going for Roshan. Paparazzi, he's been found here by the Lycan. They're chasing fast. They're going to Centaur stun. They're not going to hit it because of the Leshrac buyback from the Batrider. They want to fight this one. Vici Gaming ready to go. And TNC have to think about escaping. Sam H gets the caller with the Skywrath ultimate. He should get the call, but he doesn't have it. He missed it. And Leshrac's going to survive with the help of the Grave there. There was no Axe Culling Blade. And TNC, they got to get out. They're going to run. There's no way they can take this fight. They can go back and shrine it up, which may be the call. And it looks like Vici Gaming did end up losing the Lesh. Did he kill a Necrobook or something? He did, I want to say. How did he die?
Yeah, or Wolves killed him. I did not see. I was watching the Axe, what's happening with him. Why didn't he dunk?
Here we go. I don't know how this death summary thing works, but it looks like Necrobook. I don't know. I'm going to go with a Necrobook.
Yeah, we're gonna agree that it's a Necrobook. You can't discuss with us.
Yeah.
Because we're professional analysts.
I've Dota Plus, but I never have actually used this death summary or know how it works. There we go. So the last 604 magic damage came from Necromonican Warrior Last Will. Because he survived. He survived through the grave, and then suddenly he's dead. And yeah, it sure enough was that.
Uncontrollable damage, Parker.
Yeah, I heard. You've coined it as your term. Hold on a second. We've got a gank coming down. They're going to find this Lycan here. They get the stun and the slow to start things off here. Ori looking to burst through him here. They need to be careful. I don't think they've got the damage. And with the Shrine, they've overcommitted. Ori, you've made a big, big mistake. They're going to get punished here. This is a real Phantom Lancer getting hit by the DK stun. He just looks dead here. There's no way out. They've got to dunk too if they need it. They know which one's real because of the Grave. Paparazzi, they don't even need the dunk. They bring him down with the DK. Full retreat. 11 blinks away. Vici Gaming making some big mistakes here.
They're gonna find Dazzle as well. Call is ready. Wait, what? He used the Battle Hunger first. Oh no.
Mistakes were made.
Oof.
He did. I guess he didn't know what the time was on the TP, but nonetheless, they're gonna look to get Roshan off of this. It looks very good for TNC. He's just solo smoked. He's going for this Roche steal. Oh, he reveals himself now.
Yeah, they know he's up, and Roche is really not low. 5,000 HP left on Roche.
Yeah, he's just trying to stall it because I don't like... If you're going to go for the steal, you definitely don't use the napalm there. Instead, TNC just going to find the kills. They take out Dazzle at mid. They could look for some more here. 11 has used the Firefly as well. TNC back into the Roshan pit. They still got a long duration on this Necrobook. 11, he's used his blink. He's still got a 4-staff here. Needs to be careful not to get caught out.
Naga needs some mana.
Yeah,
she does not have any mana for a sleep.
Has the pipe, but that's about it. And actually just used Riptide. I don't know about that, but hey, they'll get Roshan. It works out fine. There was no contest from Vici Gaming, putting TNC in a prime position to take control of this game.
Yeah, this is looking really good for TNC. Dragon Knight level 18 with the BKB, which means he's gonna slow all the illusions, have that splash, and they have Axe with the who actually decided to go for a Blade Mail. Necrobook 3 finished on the Lycan. Like, you can see the difference between some of the Lycan players. They tend not to go for boots at all, or they upgraded to the Power Treads, which delays their Necrobook. I would prefer just to get the brown boots, because you move faster, and which means that you farm faster. But you really don't rely on the right clicks. It's more of a Necrobooks and your summons in the team fights. I might be wrong. That's just my opinion.
I agree. Well, and in the team fights, you just having the shape, you don't need the movement speed from the treads because you're in shapeshift anyway. So, but like you say, there's some Lycans who don't get any boots, and then there's others which seem to always upgrade for the fast treads. Now Raven queues up a BKB, so once they get BKBs, it feels like this Vici Gaming side is really going to lack some damage output and may struggle to kill off this tri-core of TNCs. And man, this Axe Blade Mail, that's going to be pretty good against the Lesh. The uncontrollable damage against Blade Mail, that's when this item really shines.
Yes, exactly. And I love how people start to realize how strong the item called Eon Disc is. Not sure if you noticed, but there's a lot of Eon Discs happening as a third, 4 item, besides the DP, which is one of the greatest items you can get.
Yeah. Are there any Aeon Discs in this game? Doesn't look
Lesh
like.
is building towards one.
Oh, gotcha. Against the Axe, this seems like a must-buy item, so you don't just get blown up.
I mean, it's the same concept as when you're playing against the Void. They want to burst you down, and suddenly, if you drop below 70%, the damage just stops.
Here go TNC. They want to break through the high ground. They're grouped up as bottom. The PL's just kind of split pushing up top with the Necrobooks, the DK ulti. He's level 19, so he's got the level 3 ulti form. They are going to do some serious damage to this tier 3 tower here, it looks like. Leshrac has to be very careful. Axe is looking for an initiation. Sam H, he gets the Night Stalker, pulls him back, but he's been lassoed. He's getting pulled in deep here. Sam H, have you made a big mistake? It may be the case here. He pops his Blade Mail a bit too late. He's going to go down, and that is a late sleep if they were looking to save him there. Tim's is yep, he's just going to TP out. They do not want to mess around with this fight here. They had to TP top because PL got the tier 3 tower down low. Really nicely defended by Vici Gaming. Batrider was ready for the counterplay.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that maybe he should have gone for a BKB. Yes, that Blade Mail did some damage to the Lesh, but you wouldn't dive. He had a BKB there. Also, maybe a little bit of misplay with Naga Siren ulti. If they wanted to save him, he should just use it right away and reset after that.
Yep. Well, that puts some life back into this Vici Gaming side, showing how they can kind of take a team fight against the Axe, who seemed like there was not a good solution. Anytime he was calling someone, they were dying because they couldn't be kept alive by the grave. But if they can just get this lasso and pull the Axe away from the rest of his teammates, suddenly you're looking a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, they can pull off the combo. Even if Axe goes in, calls someone, he doesn't have that
stun on
BKB
mid
lane.
Cuckoo, that's not how you land your ultimate, but I don't think it's going to matter. A zoning ultimate from the Skywrath Mage as they kill off the Batrider.
So, I was talking about Axe. Even if he goes in and gets silence, he's not going to get the dunk off, which means if Dazzle gets the grave off, that target is going to survive anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to the bottom though. They took out the tier 3 tower and they're coming back for the racks now. They've still got Aegis on Dragon Knight, his next dragon form being used. This time there's no split push to worry about, and this time they're not going to make the mistake of diving the base with an Axe initiation. They're just going to sit back, make sure they get the racks. Axe is going to look to counterplay rather than start the fight, it seems. And they're going to go for some damage at mid too. Necrobook still lasting while Axe tried to catch the Leshrac, but the Yules was there. Now the DK gets the stun off going forward here. Axe doesn't even need the dunk. He was silenced there, but where was the Grave? They needed to throw a Grave.
Went too fast. And they can reset.
Yep. TP out again. Tim's making the same play. Back to top to defend. They did lose a tier 3 tower up top because there was, I believe, some siege creeps, but nonetheless, a good push coming out from TNC, taking a first lane of Rax and almost the entire tier 3 tower in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's the timing that you want to push at 25, 30-minute mark, every 5 minutes when the siege creep spawns, and but you need to have your lanes shout out, so the other lanes also deal damage.
We'll see what Vici Gaming's response is going to be. Is there like a late game hope for them with this PL, or do they need to try and fight now?
He has a heart, which means that he is tanky. Only one set of racks is down. He's alright, farming a lot, but none of these heroes scale that well. Yes, you have a Leshrac, but against the 3 cores on side of TNC, it just feels unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this drop, even a hero like Lycan, who's kind of known for maybe falling off a bit and being more of an early mid-game hero, he still feels scary against like a Lycan and against Leshrac and a Batrider as this game goes on. Armel, again, the Shadowblade initiation, he tries to dodge it with the Mad Star, but he's still going to get caught up. Phantom Lancer, graved up, where's the dunk? There it is, Sam H brings him down, and they go charging for more. No grave for the Leshrac. Ori going to get slowed by the Dragon Knight. They're chasing, they want more, and this could be the end of Vici Gaming. This is very likely going to lead into a mid lane of Rax. The root is there. TP out from the Dazzle. Oh, Sam H couldn't get there in time for the dunk. And we'll see TNC push out the bottom lane to probably go for that mid lane here. Lanham did drag the creeps off the mid lane at least, but unfortunately for Vici, there's creeps coming in through bottom.
Batrider was a little bit too far with that gem. They had no other reveal. So Dragon Knight just too speedy going in with the Shadowblade. They can stun the Phantom Lancer, who does not have a buyback. Also, once they take down one target, it's impossible for Vici to fight because all of their beefy cores are pretty hard to take down.
Yep.
They just need to take down either Dazzle or Leshrac, and they can easily take a fight. Every time they pick off one hero, they take an objective.
They just deal with the Phantom Lancer so well at this point. Between the DK having a Mjolnir, Axe with his spins, it just seems like they aren't afraid of PL and his illusions whatsoever. Like, the PL's gotten tanky with this heart, but those illusions are just getting cleared away with ease.
Yeah, even Dragon Knight went for 2 times Dragon Blood and the HP regen armor. I guess the reason is just to tank up against the Phantom Lancer illusions, and also the heal bomb that they have, Shadow Wave. It's a physical damage, so it mitigates a lot of damage from that.
There's a double damage rune here for the Phantom Lancer if Vici Gaming can find anyone, but it gets denied by some wolves. No DD for you, Mr. PL. And scanned out. Vici Gaming gets spotted. Really nicely played by TNC here. They kind of know that, you know, Vici Gaming have to go for some big Hail Mary type play. Roshan's coming up soon, and TNC have no interest in taking an unnecessary fight unless they're the ones initiating.
Yeah, it feels like TNC successfully scanned every single time they used it.
They are not getting caught out at all this game, and a lot of that is the vision and the scouting. Things like the Lycan Wolves are just so good at giving you intel on the map, and we'll see what TNC's next move is going to be. Roche is back in 57 seconds.
It's hard to gank from Vici's side. You're playing against the Wolves, the Necrobooks, you have a Naga Siren who's spamming out Mirror Image to shout out the waves and provide the vision. So they need the smoke, and every time they smoked, TNC just used the scan, and they knew where they were.
Yep. Well, TNC are not done clearing out these objectives. They take the other shrine now as well as they look to push out these lanes. For them, realistically, they're not going to, I guess, go for a big high ground push until they have another Aegis. I don't really see any need for them to risk things here. Just keep these lanes pushed out and try and find an opening to take Roche.
Yeah, that's true. They are not going to risk anything. Even though the gold lead is only 7k, it feels like it's more 17 than 7.
Yeah, it does not feel like that at all. I think there's a lot of farm on this PL, but the heart is nice and all, but it doesn't really seem like an item that's going to change the state of this game because they just lack damage. Meanwhile, TNC have damage in spades. But we'll see. One good Roche fight. It feels like so much pressure on 11 to get a good initiation with this Bat Rider. When Vici Gaming were looking good, it was Bat initiating fights. The last like 2 or 3 team fights, it's Dragon Knight or Axe who started the fight. Armor with his Shadow Blade, Axe with the Blink Call. We haven't seen Bat Rider kick off a team fight in such a long time.
Yeah, because it's hard for him. If you look at the heroes, who are you going to use the lasso on? Ideally, it would be Naga Siren because she can just disrupt if you use it on anyone else. But what if you take down Naga Siren? Then you don't have anything that pierces through the BKB.
Yep. That is the problem Vici Gaming face as they will lose control of this top side of the map. They have got a ward there if they want to try and take a fight, but it doesn't look like they're that equipped to do so. Paparazzi has rotated in, but here come TNC charging forward. They get a ward of their own on the high ground. And here we go. Blink Lasso. They get the call off, though, immediately. The Bat Rider, he doesn't get to get the left onto the cliff here. He gets bursted down. He's the one stuck on the cliff here. And TNC are just going to go charging forward. Aeon just keeping Ori alive for now. He does get back to safety, but the chase is still on. They really want to finish off this Leshrac. I say it's just the Lycan. Back in the main fight, it's the PL. Paparazzi cannot afford to die. He does not have buyback. He tries to get out. Sam H intercepts him with the alley-oop, dunks him down, and it looks like Armel isn't done as well. Trying to get the Sun to Leshrac, who does dodge it nicely with the Yule Scepter, but that just sets up the DK to get some good right clicks off here. Call into... Nope, silence. Can't get off the dunk just yet, but they will inevitably get the kill and set things up to take game number 1. It's GG as TNC... I would say fairly convincingly beat Vici Gaming here.
Yeah, I like how you said at the main fight, because there's simultaneously a couple of fights happening all the time. We have 50 kills, 37 minutes in. This is the Dota that everyone wants to see. A lot of action. Maybe a little bit of too much action for my taste, even though I like when it's chaotic. We both agree that we like the TNC's lineup, the 3 cores that scale well into the mid and in the late game, and they had no response to that. Also, they itemized really well against the Phantom Lancer. I love the build on Naga 4-staff into Pipe.
Yep. It felt like they needed to snowball more with this Leshrac Bat Rider. Like they just need to keep finding pick off, and taking towers, and they needed to get the first Roche. And if they somehow found a way to get Roche themselves, perhaps then Vici Gaming had a chance.
Yeah, that's correct.
Look at Cuckoo's damage, man. Did you see this? 31k damage. He's the highest on his team. 10, 3, and 20 Skywrath Mage.
Oh, I think I mentioned that the Skywrath Mage feels like he's the best position 4 hero at this point, especially when paired up with the Axe.
Yeah.
Like, Axe was setting up so many kills, and in the end he even had the Aghanim Scepter, so he was just getting out of control.
It's the perfect hero for Cuckoo. This guy used to be a mid player, and not just a standard mid player. He was a super flashy mid player who loved to play aggressive, go for kills. Put him on a support like Skywrath, boom, magic happens. Like that is like the best way for TNC to draft for him, it feels like. Anyways, that does it. Game 1, it is best of 2, so we're going to have another game. We're going to see if Vici Gaming can bounce back, or if TNC will take the 2 points, the 2-0. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to take a short break and come back with game number 2.